On July 27, 2023, Ghana's cabinet decided to ban the export of unprocessed minerals, such as lithium. This move follows the footsteps of several other African nations that have taken similar measures. The goal is to maximize the benefits of their natural resources. African countries have increasingly shown a tendency to resist neo-colonialist economic schemes. Ghana, as a West African giant, aims to retain a significant portion of the value chain by processing the minerals before exporting them. Samuel A. Jinapol, Ghana's Minister of Land and Natural Resources, explains that this new policy is expected to become law by the end of 2023. Ghana is not alone in making such changes. In December 2022, Zimbabwe also took a similar step by restricting the export of unprocessed lithium. Many African countries, including the Democratic Republic of Congo, Nigeria, and Namibia, have intermittently restricted or completely banned the export of unprocessed minerals. This trend is driven by a desire to realize economic growth and development within their borders. Research published in May, earlier this year, by the Africa Development Forum reveals that between 2017 and 2022, there was a significant increase in demand for lithium, cobalt, and nickel. The energy sector, in particular, played a crucial role in driving this demand. The International Energy Agency, IEA, released a report in July, stating that the demand for these minerals has been rising due to their importance in renewable energy technologies. While there is a growing demand for African minerals in the Western world, some analysts argue that African countries should not simply react to external demands. Instead, they should focus on developing their renewable energy sectors and utilize the interest from Western countries to enhance their mining capabilities. By doing so, African nations can chart a better course for their sustainable development. In summary, the script highlights Ghana's decision to ban the export of unprocessed minerals, aligning with a larger trend among African nations. It emphasizes the importance of maximizing the value of natural resources and developing domestic industries. The script also points out the increasing demand for these minerals in the energy sector and suggests that African countries should focus on their renewable energy development while leveraging Western interests to improve their mining capacity. 10. Niger bans uranium exports. Over the past decade, France has imported a total of 88,000 metric tons of natural uranium, with the majority coming from three countries: Kazakhstan, 27%, Niger, 20%, and Uzbekistan, 19%. While Niger plays a significant role in France's uranium supplies, some politicians tend to overestimate its global importance. However, Niger's position as a primary producer has diminished over the years due to high production costs and declining prices until 2016. By 2022, Niger accounted for only 4% of global uranium production. In comparison, Kazakhstan led with 43%, followed by Canada, 15%, Namibia, 11%, and Australia, 8%. Despite having the highest grade uranium ores in Africa, Niger's output in 2022 was 2,200 metric tons, representing just 5% of global mining output, according to the World Nuclear Association. This was a decrease from 2,991 tons in 2020. The three largest uranium producers globally are Kazakhstan, Canada, and Namibia. In Niger, there is one major mining operation in the north, operated by France's state-owned Orano. Another significant mine closed in 2021, and one is currently under development. Two notable uranium mines in Niger are the Arlit mining site, consisting of several open-pit mining sites near the city of Arlit in the northwest, operated by the joint venture Samura, a partnership between Orano and Niger's state-owned Sopermin, and the Kuda mining site, an underground mine near Akokem in the southwest. The Arlit mine produced 75,000 metric tons of uranium from 1978 until its closure in March 2021, after depleting its ore reserves. 9. Ghana imposes a ban on the export of unprocessed gold. On July 27, 2023, Ghana's cabinet made a significant decision to ban the export of unprocessed minerals, specifically lithium. This move aligns with the trend observed in several other African nations, as they share a strategy to maximize the benefits of their natural resources. Ghana's new policy, expected to become law by the end of the year, aims to retain a significant portion of the value chain before exporting products. The Minister of Land and Natural Resources, Samuel A. Jinapor, emphasizes that this decision by African countries, including Ghana, is not a coincidence. These nations are rich in minerals like lithium, which is a crucial component of batteries. The shift towards green technology and the increasing focus on electric vehicles by major automakers in the developed world has prompted African governments to realign their export strategies. By retaining more value within their borders and processing minerals before export, African countries like Ghana aim to benefit from the growing demand for green technologies and electric vehicles. This strategic move allows them to maximize the returns from their natural resources, while contributing to the global shift towards sustainable practices. 8. Gabon bans the export of logs. Since January 2010, Gabon has prohibited the export of wood in the form of logs as part of its efforts to promote the growth of its timber industry and contribute to a diversified economy. To successfully implement effective policies for economic diversification and sustainable development, it is crucial to understand the impacts of past policies and explore future possibilities. On May 15th, the West African nation of Gabon took a significant step by implementing a complete ban on log exports. This decision has been effectively enforced, resulting in a complete halt of log exports from Gabon. The International Timber Trade Organization confirms the ban's success, although approximately 60,000 cubic meters of logs, mostly intended for China, remain in port due to the ban. The decline in log exports from Gabon has led to an increase in logging activities in nearby Cameroon. Gabon aims to mitigate job losses caused by the ban by expanding its market for processed wood products. Eventually, the country intends to shift its focus towards finished wood products. The ban's primary objective is to encourage the growth of the local industry for processed wood products and combat illegal logging. Additionally, Gabon hopes to benefit from the reducing emissions from deforestation and forest degradation (REDD+) program, which is expected to commence in the coming year. By participating in this program, Gabon aims to profit from initiatives that reduce greenhouse gas emissions associated with deforestation and forest degradation. Through these measures, Gabon seeks to promote sustainable practices, support the growth of its timber industry, create job opportunities, combat illegal logging, and contribute to global efforts to address deforestation and climate change. 7. Guinea suspends agricultural exports to Europe. Guinea is a country with significant untapped potential in terms of raw materials, but it often goes unnoticed. However, it's not surprising that many West African countries source essential food items like rice, onions, tomatoes, and more from Guinea. Despite its mineral wealth, including iron, bauxite, and gold, Guinea remains one of the poorest nations globally. To address food security concerns and promote social stability, the government has imposed export bans on around 15 products. These include rice, onions, dried and fresh chilies, eggplants, okra, fresh tomatoes, taro, cassava, maize, yams, sweet potatoes, and palm oil. The decision to ban these exports is unrelated to the end of a grain export agreement between Russia and Ukraine, which may impact food importing African countries. An official from the Trade Ministry clarified that the ban aims to ensure food sovereignty and maintain social peace. Violators of the ban could face fines as a deterrent. "It's important to replenish our reserves and secure our food supply," stated an official from the Trade Ministry when speaking to AFP. The official emphasized that this move is not connected to the Russian-Ukrainian agreements. Since 2021, Guinea has been under military rule, but under international pressure, the country has committed to transitioning power back to elected civilians by the end of 2024. 6. Mozambique bans the export of unprocessed timber logs. On January 1, 2017, the Mozambican parliament unanimously passed a bill to ban the export of unprocessed timber logs from the country. This measure was seen as a necessary step to protect Mozambique's valuable hardwood forests. The new law allows for the export of semi-processed timber, such as beams, planks, and parquet, but it subjects them to an export tax. However, there will be no tax imposed on the export of finished wooden goods, including furniture. The primary objective of this law is to prevent further devastation of Mozambique's forests, which have been experiencing depletion. Illegal logging has also been identified as a significant source of revenue loss for the government. China has been the main importer of wood from Mozambique, and there have been instances of Chinese nationals engaging in logging activities without proper licenses. Chinese traders, as reported by the International Institute for Environment and Development, accounted for over 90% of Mozambique's timber exports. By implementing this ban, Mozambique aims to preserve its forests, protect its natural resources, and ensure sustainable practices in the timber industry. 5. Namibia imposes ban on unprocessed minerals exports. Namibia has recently implemented an export ban on unprocessed lithium and other critical minerals, according to economic analysts and news agency Reuters, citing the government. This decision reflects Namibia's goal of taking advantage of the increasing global demand for metals used in clean energy technologies. The Namibia Information Ministry confirmed that the cabinet approved the prohibition of exporting certain critical minerals, including unprocessed crushed lithium ore, cobalt, manganese, graphite, and rare earth minerals. However, it's important to note that this ban is not comprehensive. The ministry explained that exports of the specified minerals would still be allowed, but only in small quantities and with the approval of the mines minister. Namibia possesses significant lithium deposits, which play a crucial role in renewable energy storage. Additionally, the country is home to rare earth minerals like dysprosium and terbium, essential for manufacturing permanent magnets used in electric vehicle batteries and wind turbines. By imposing this export ban, Namibia aims to retain a greater share of the value chain associated with these critical minerals. This strategic move allows the country to leverage its resources for domestic processing and manufacturing, supporting the growth of its clean energy sector, while capturing more economic benefits from these valuable resources. 4. Ivory Coast bans export of cocoa beans. Ivory Coast, also known as Côte d'Ivoire, is famous for its production of ivory, a key raw material. However, cocoa, the main ingredient in chocolate, is the country's most significant source of revenue, contributing around $1 billion annually. During the 1970s, cocoa and coffee exports played a vital role in driving Ivory Coast's economic success. Millions of African immigrants settled on small plots of land in the lush interior to cultivate cocoa and coffee trees. It's worth noting that Ivory Coast is the world's largest cocoa supplier, accounting for approximately 40% of global production. In 2021, the price of cocoa surged by 6.2% to reach $3,393 per ton, the highest level since January 2010. Cocoa prices have been steadily increasing since the last election, and analysts predict further escalation unless the political deadlock is resolved. The recent export ban on cocoa has caused confusion among cocoa exporters in Ivory Coast. However, the ban does not apply to beans that have already been declared for export. shippers can continue to purchase beans from farmers in the country's interior, according to an unnamed government official from the Ouattara administration. The ban prompted a US-based company, Cargo, which buys about 15% of Ivory Coast's cocoa crop, to indefinitely suspend its purchases. Other exporters await instructions from their headquarters in Europe or the US, leading to further uncertainty. Apart from economic reasons, President Ouattara has accused his predecessor, Gbagbo, of purchasing weapons to suppress his opponents and instigate a new civil war. The export ban has raised concerns and disrupted the cocoa trade. Despite aging plantations and years of neglect in the agricultural sector by the government, Ivory Coast remains the world's largest cocoa producer. 3. Democratic Republic of Congo bans export of unrefined cobalt and copper. The Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC, is another country that has implemented an export ban on its minerals and natural resources. Since 2013, the DRC has intermittently banned the export of copper and cobalt concentrate to promote domestic processing. Although waivers to the ban have been regularly issued, the Minister of Mines in the DRC recently reaffirmed the implementation of the export ban on copper and cobalt ores, including concentrates, since 2013. The ministry announced a complete ban on the export of unrefined copper and cobalt, which will be enforced within 90 days. The goal is to increase the export of domestically processed products. However, customers who import ores from the DRC and mining companies operating locally have raised concerns about the feasibility of implementing the ban. They argue that a shortage of domestic electricity supply could negatively impact the government's plans to transition from exporting ores and concentrates to refined products. Despite these concerns, the DRC confirmed its intention to implement the export ban during a recent summit held in Tokyo. The government aims to boost the domestic processing industry and maximize the value derived from its mineral resources. 2. Zimbabwe bans the export of raw chromite. To support its domestic ferrochromite industry, Zimbabwe has implemented an immediate ban on the export of raw chromite. The Minister of Information, Monica Mutsvangwa, revealed this decision. In the first quarter of this year, Zimbabwe produced 300,926 tons of chromite ore, slightly lower than the 353,669 tons produced during the same period in 2020. The total export earnings from chromite ore and ferrochrome, a crucial ingredient in steel production, amounted to $231.5 million last year, a decrease from $266 million in the previous year. Zimbabwe holds the second largest known chromite ore reserves in the world, following South Africa. In October of last year, South Africa announced an export tax on chrome ore to support local ferrochrome producers. Minister Mutsvangwa stated that Zimbabwe has 22 operating chromite smelters, which could face a shortage of feedstock if chromite mining capacity doesn't increase. The export ban aims to strengthen the current smelters and maximize the value derived from the country's abundant chromite resources. Among the prominent chromite miners and ferrochrome producers in Zimbabwe is China's Tsingshan Holding Group, which has announced plans to construct a carbon steel plant with a capacity of 1.2 million tons south of the capital, Harare. 1. Tanzania has banned the export of mineral concentrates. Tanzania has recently imposed a ban on the export of gold and copper concentrate, impacting London-listed Acacia Mining, the country's largest gold miner. Mining has always played a significant role in Tanzania's economy, contributing 3.7% to its GDP in 2014. The government implemented the export ban to enhance productivity and better manage the country's resources to avoid low GDP records. Tanzania believes that the ban will encourage exporters to process, smelt, and refine unprocessed minerals within the country rather than sending them abroad. Acacia mining alone is estimated to contribute around 2% to Tanzania's total GDP. Some speculate that the ban may be related to an ongoing tax dispute between the Tanzanian government and Acacia. Governments worldwide are employing various measures to ensure multinational businesses pay their fair share of taxes. In response to the ban, foreign investors with appropriate connections may consider arbitration under one of the 20 bilateral investment treaties signed by Tanzania. These treaties involve countries such as the United Kingdom, the Netherlands, Germany, Switzerland, and Canada. Investors not linked to a country with a bilateral investment treaty with Tanzania could potentially face disadvantages. Many resource-rich African nations have faced the resource curse in the past, often attributed to poor governance, corruption, environmental degradation, and human rights abuses. However, the narrative is changing with the emergence of visionary African leaders who have captured the attention of world powers regarding Africa's mineral wealth. Africa possesses 30% of the world's mineral reserves, many of which are crucial for the green transition, including cobalt in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, manganese in South Africa, and lithium in Zimbabwe, to name a few.